you carry your goods? I'm cheap. Porter for hire. Best service.
That's that then.
She must have meant the refugee camp.
Let's hope he's still nearby.
There are no crystals here.
That big fat donkey was easy pickings.
He wouldn't have noticed if we'd robbed his boots off him.
Yeah. Wish we hadn't handed over the pass, though. Could use one of those things to get out of this dump.
Chance would be a fine thing. The moment they found out, they'd string us up by our guts.
Would they now? Perhaps you'd like to introduce us to these charming characters.
Shit! We're in trouble now!
What do we do?
You two get caught if you want. I'm off.
Hunter, where are you going?
So that was Hunter, eh? Jill, you were...
All right.
He can't have gone far. I need to find him before his employers do.
Daddy!
Did you see a boy run past?
There was...
Thank you.
Shit. Cornered.
It's all right, Hunter. I just want to ask you some questions.
Fine.
I'm looking for the people who are making you...
Called themselves the Carstones. They said they'd give me a good gill if I did what they told me. I knew they were bad, but didn't come at all half the time before I started buzzing for them. You know, if I didn't do it, they'd just pick on someone else. Someone they could push around.
Hunter.
You found him then?
Jill.
Eloise is watching over them. She sent Goots and I...
I haven't got your pass anymore, if that's what you're after. I gave it to the Carstones. Whatever you... Not that I go against them, anyway.
Cowards. You will not force another child to do your bidding.
Wait, we're not...
Don't hurt him!
You're making a mistake. We're on the same side.
Like hell we are. That brooch. Where did you get it?
Master Theo?
Goots. What are you doing with these people? Unless you're the ones my sister was talking about.
Your sister? Eloise didn't tell us she had a brother.
And why would she? I'm just a back and a blade. Theodore, at your service. Sorry about before.
Theodore, what do you know of the Cast Stones?
Vultures who have made Boklad their hunting ground. They prey on the desperate, stealing from those with gil and bullying those without it into joining their flock. I'd been looking into their activities in hope of sparing the refugees any further hardship. But it seems they've already stooped even lower than I'd feared. Hunter's a good lad. Don't blame him for what they've made him do. If he and his friends hadn't agreed to work for the Stones, some other poor souls would have. On pain of death, most likely. Clive, was it? And my sisters asked you to help put an end to the pickpocketing. Then we all want the same thing.
wrong.
Where is...
So,
What else? We find you get your trader's pass back, and I make Bok...
all right then.
All right, then. Honza, where are they camped? Don't worry.
Couldn't if I wanted to. They always come to town to collect... I tried following them once, but they spotted me halfway down the trail.
We'll try it this time. Which way were they going?
Back down the road towards Leighton's Cleft.
To Leighton's Cleft, then.
Laney's Cleft is to the south, past the camp.
There's talk. How the hell is anyone supposed to afford that price?
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion. Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the Hideaway's debt with the Veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the Hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that.
Clive, we weren't...
I wasn't but it seems, and though I doubt...
A star, Ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again.
Something like that.
Same as always. Back when the place was nothing but a probably knew that without his strong arm and level, Sid may have been the face of the... And when Sid passed away...
His death was hard on everyone.
But he didn't give up, did he? I reckon what he... And don't we all? That, and you keep...
Goat will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
She had a man of Grieger mopping their brows.
Please, teach me how to fight.
Stay down!
company.
Well, it's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. Yeah, we'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal? Stay down! Now, will it be enough, I want? I say that answers my question, which means we owe the lawsmen our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you. That feel good, boy? People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
The St. Drape's Fang is gone. The whole Mother Crystal gone. What are we gonna do?
My reputation will be ruined! Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving.
Redeem! Get rid of...
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. He has been dispossessed of his...
I don't suppose a certain blade was a single-edged sword.
Ah.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage.
You have but to state it. You are welcome.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed. Every ill-got...
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Ready, girl?
Thanks, girl.
Farewell. It's over.
We've got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off!
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my... What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, Redeem here tells me you wished for an...
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you
Oh, true. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke there's a brutal sort of beauty to it.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Why, they use wet stones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. But it is the final stone, a mineral, and that is the key. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hard. Take this, the very stone of which I spoke. Far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself. And a far more fitting pay.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my...
I am locked in. I am one.
And there are many...
Too many to count. But and is a perennial... Farewell, Wyvern, Redeem! We must...
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
the thing Tomes helped to build?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Good. So Lady Karen...
But she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever.
Oh, wonderful.
I don't know where Sid gets the energy.
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt?
What debt? I may have, but those were donated.
Of course not. Surely you wouldn't shut...
Oh, fine. Where'd you even get this? A canny one, meanwhile, might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month's wages.
Oh, so you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before...
Right away.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he...
Before he died? 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to... I forget where. And having nothing better to do on the long nights, we sat up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him, forget what I felt, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth. was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me, just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather goat at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.